live here from Concord Speedway. This is the MF Racing Designs and Jawb Racing League All-Star Race, All-Star Open rather. I'm Josh Copperl. I'm joined here by Adam Coon and Dawson Allen. Dawson, you're in the All-Star race here later on, but how are you doing?
Man, let me tell you, practice for this has definitely been an experience, let me tell you. This track, it's such a master class of a track to try to get down. It's so treacherous, and it's only fitting that we go somewhere like here for the All-Star race to give our drivers a bit of a challenge. This track, it's pretty much like Pocono's younger brother. In the fact that it is such a small triangle that is, so hard to drive because all three corners feel so different. We're going to see a lot of struggles tonight from myself and others.
Yeah, absolutely, Dawson. We're going to see a lot of struggles tonight, and it's going to start with this All-Star Open that we're going to see 6 guys make their way through the race, 5 through the top 5 transfers, and it's going to be pretty curious to see who those guys are going to be contending. I'm sure it's going to shuffle a lot. Like you said, this track is very challenging, and I've been very excited for this race for a while, seeing it on the schedule, so I'm a big fan of this track, and I'm excited to see what the show is going to be tonight with these cars.
Right now, we are currently watching Casey Shepard as he's going to complete his second lap, and it's going to be P2. Looks like Michael Kruger has completed both of his laps, currently sitting P1 on the board. Glenn Bundren Jr.
Yeah, Casey. Yeah, Josh. Casey Shepard had a really good practice time in second right now in qualifying, of course. So curious to see how he's going to run tonight.
Oh, Bundren gets loose out of turn 2.
Thorpe, you're locked into the race. This is qualifying for the Open. You don't have to do this.
It's Kate Nat Kings, and you heard over the radio. Thorpe is locked in. So let's quickly
this is
look.
supposed to.
Sorry, Dawson. Let's quickly look at our All-Star format here. You see, the Open is going to be 50 laps, and six advance, 5 from the All-Star Open here, and then 1 fan vote. I see the drivers on the right who are locked in, and of course we mentioned Dawson Allen is locked in the race. Little interesting how it happened. We'll get more on that a little bit later, but that will bring us into our 150 lap main here later on tonight.
So Dawson, in the limited practice you've had around Concord, what's the most difficult place right now on the racetrack?
So that's a tough question. The easiest spot, in my opinion, is turn 1, heading into it and making that corner. But your struggles go from the exit of turn 1 all the way till you get back to the straightaway to get the start-finish line. Because that little bend in the backstretch right there, that little anchor where this makes that D-shaped oval, you cannot go full throttle through it, but you've got to carry enough speed through it to really set up a good lap. And then not to mention, too, you got to be hard on the brakes as soon as you exit that to get ready for that final turn. It really is a treacherous track, and you've got to be on it if you want to be able to make it. So I'd say, turn 1 is a cakewalk, but after that, you're going to have your hands full with that steering wheel.
Currently, no drivers on track for qualifying. 2 drivers are currently on track, but they both have completed their qualifying laps. 30 seconds left. in qualifying for the All-Star Open. Right now it is Ethan Fonseca Moreno with the pole position, and I don't think anybody is going to go out there and set a time. So, Adam, Dawson, who do you guys have for the All-Star Open to qualify into the All-Star race?
I'll go with Christian Pacheco to take one of those spots. He's pretty solid on the long runs, and if he gets a long run here to get the end of this race, he'll be pretty solid to steal one of those top 5 spots, I think, Dawson.
Yeah, I was going to say, with it being, I believe, 5 drivers transferring in from everything, I put money on Michael Kruger, Michael Thorpe, Jeffrey Armstead making his debut here tonight, Jonathan Canfield, and Bridger Olson. I think those will be your 5 drivers that'll transfer in.
Solid 5 drivers. I'm going to go with the guy that's starting on the outside, Michael Kruger, to make it in by way of running. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at our starting grid. Starting on the pole is Ethan Fonseca Moreno, as mentioned, with Michael Kruger to his outside. It is going to be Casey Shepard starting in third with Michael Thorpe, who is not in the All-Star Open. So it's going to be... Looks like Jeffrey Armstead starting in fourth. And as we see here, this is what I have up on screen is way different than what it actually is. So it'll be Moreno, Kruger, Shepard, Armstead, Wilson, Pacheco, Bundren, Canfield, Turnbull, Frimpong, Marshall, and Bridger Olson. Starts to roll. As we get ready for this 50-lap All-Star Open, and here at the Concord Speedway. A little less than half a mile long. It is 4/10 of a mile. Track temp is 133 degrees. It's pretty hot out there.
Yeah, we're going to see a slick racetrack. We saw a lot of guys sliding around the corners in qualifying, and that's why I asked Dawson, what is the trickiest part? Or the trickiest part, and he replied with the easiest part. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of that sliding off that second turn, or that bend on the back straightaway. We're going to see a lot of that in that short chute. That is really going to be the hot spot, I think, and getting down into turn 3 is going to be really challenging as well.
Space car is in the field, makes its way around turn 3, not in the front stretch. Green flag is in the air, and we are underway in the All-Star Open, and already an accident, and we are still green, but their car stopped on track. It is, looks like it's going to be, is that Jared Wilson? Yeah, caution comes out for Jared Wilson.
William Turnbull was also spun out in the entrance of turn 1 there.
Marshall got some damage. Looks like Jonathan Canfield was involved.
Jared Wilson just looked like he did not get going very well. That stacked up the field.
Glenn Bundard came over the radio just now. He said, I saw them going up ahead and I went. He didn't realize that the 8 car was not fully going as they checked up, and that just caused that accident there.
Michael Kruger was able to get the lead away from Moreno there on the start. Looks like Turnbull and Wilson are still in pit road. Currently 1 lap down. And gonna go 2 laps down here. Not the night these guys want to have.
No, it's really a shame for them for it to really be over before it begun. Just on the front straightaway and guy in front of you doesn't go and boom, you're done. Or in Jared Wilson's case, you just have a bad start and then get rammed in behind and you get crashed and your night's over with pretty much. If they can get back out there, they're going to have to rely on the fan vote of some sort.
It's going to be 1 green. We're going to have 44 laps to go. When the green flag does drop, as the field's making its way through turn 2. And this car is going to make its way down pit road. Michael Kruger on command here. Flag is back out.
Spinning in the back. Richard Olson, Jonathan Canfield, Anthony Marshall.
Yeah, caution is going to be out once again. Go ahead and take a look at your BMD replay.
Wow, Olsen got hooked going into turn 3, it looks like. Just a tap there by Jonathan Canfield and big contact from behind with Anthony Mosher again.
Jared Wilson already leaving the session tonight as well. So that leaves us just 11 cars.
So that was a look at the Burnham Motorsport design replay. Turnbull is going to take a wave around here. So we mentioned earlier how this track is going to be really slick. These cars are a little bit harder to power down anyway, and then you throw in the hot temperature, 134 degree track temp. Dawson, do you think this is what we're gonna see for tonight's All-Star race?
I think we're going to see a little bit of this. I think this is going to start the same way as it does later on tonight. We're going to see some cars kind of getting loose from the hot conditions on these early starts, and then it'll simmer down and kind of get back spaced out and just clean racing. But with it being the way it is right now, all these cars just kind of struggling to get through and manage this race. That's what we're going to see here on these starts. These restarts wadding everybody back up, making them all tight together. I mean, you got guys that are trying to make moves and trying to pick up spots as quick as they can, and really just it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with a little bump like that going to the corner, they're just already so little grip, and then when you get the rear tires just that angry and off the ground just a slight bit with these cars, it's going to result in that spin like we saw.
.37 to go at the line. Michael Kruger once again, control car, and a much better jump from him this time around. Moreno not going to have to fight on the outside, going to find a hole in front of Shepard.
I'll tell you who did not get a good restart, that 14 of Jeffrey Armistead, as he's going to have to battle out of the 88 of Christian Pacheco, dooring him on the front straightaway. But Armistead slipping back to 6th and further falling back, as here comes Mark Frimpong and Bridger Olsen to his inside.
No, it's early in the race, but that would be the transfer spot that they were racing for. So that 5th position, if it stays like this where it's a lot of cautions and you don't have a lot of time to race on the green, you are going to be up there in that position as you see Bridger Olsen going to be able to clear Armistead for that spot. But Armistead's going to dive back in here through the back straightaway. Not going to be able to do anything in 2 and 3 for him though.
Guys still trying to figure it out, but I think they're going to get single file now.
I'll tell you what I'm watching right now here, Josh. This 79 of Casey Shepard continues to just peek the nose just little bit by little bit inside of Ethan Fonseca Moreno every lap, trying to see if he can make a move in there, but just can't quite really get there right now. He's right there in line with them, so if Moreno makes a mistake, the Shepard's there to pounce on it. But he is right now holding his own, running his own race. Things have kind of smoothed over up front, but there's still a tight battle as Moreno is all over the back bumper of Michael Kruger.
Kruger was able to get a great jump, and Moreno is doing a great job. But Shepard, he's going to pass Moreno on the outside. Shepard is going to go around leaning on Moreno, but saves it. And Glenn Bundren Jr. is going to pass both of them around the outside.
That could have been really big in a lot of different ways there. Good job on everyone saving their cars. Ethan Moreno almost caught the pit wall though too. Casey Shepard hanging on to his car there in 3rd place now. And you mentioned Mark Frimpong right there in that position now.
I'm sure later on, Ethan will thank Casey for saving that car and not taking him out. But as of right now, I do not think he's very happy. I think he's mad because he went from running 2nd place, holding his own, fighting for the lead, to now, right now, in 4th. Mark Frimpong is behind him and has been faster. Then after that, you've got Bridger Olsen. That would knock him out of the top 5 and out of the transfers. So he's really hoping to stay like this and keep it this spaced out if he wants a shot to make it into this All-Star race.
Halfway through the open, riding on board with Olsen as he tries to get around Mark Frimpong for the 5th position.
Yeah, we see Olsen can't really do anything right now with Frimpong. Just he's doing a good job blocking the track perfectly, and he's going to peek the nose right here in through that back straightaway, whatever we're going to call it, turn 2 pretty much, and finally got that nose underneath him into turn 3 now. On the front straightaway, he just lost the rear tires that are going on the front, so he wasn't able to keep it side by side, but he's still right there on the back of Mark Frimpong.
Anything he possibly can. Oh, as he gets loose there. Struggling to get around Frimpong.
And look right there in the background. That car running back there in 7th right now, Jeffrey Armistead, has been consistently putting down the fastest laps on track right now. He is running up there with speeds, comparative to some of the leaders right now. But he's back in 7th. He's still got 2 cars ahead of him. He's got to pass if he wants to make it to the transfer. But he's got a good shot right now with the pace he's carrying, catching up to the 23 and the 53.
Olsen almost got it inside Frimpong right there into turn 1. Almost made it side by side into 2. Couldn't do it again. He's really challenging Frimpong hard for this transfer spot. Well, contact there. Oh, Frimpong's loose, but he saved it.
And that just brings Armistead into this battle in picture for the transfer spot. 16 laps to go for these guys.
And while all of this is happening back here in the back, Michael Kruger told the field, see you later. He is running away with this lead, almost out to a 2-second gap over second place, Glenn Bunder Jr. He is just in a field of his own right now.
Glenn Bunder Jr. comfortably ahead of Shepard and Fonseca Moreno, as Moreno is actually going to look to the inside of Shepard. Shepard doing a great job holding his own on that outside line.
Now, if there's something you notice there, when they go through that back stretch dogleg, you see Moreno get a little bit off the gas. He lets off it right there when he rolls the bottom, and you see him lose all that time because right there is a very prime position for you to gas it up too much, thinking you've got a good shot, and completely missing this next corner here, setting yourself up for failure. But right now, Moreno's doing a fantastic job running his line and running this race, trying to get by the 79 of Casey Shepard here for this 3rd spot.
Yeah, he just did.
Go ahead, Adam.
Excuse me, Josh. Moreno just had a perfect line in turns 3 and 4 to set up this pass on Casey Shepard. It might take him another lap or 2, but that last time through 3 and 4 was the prime setup for this pass that he's getting ready to set up for this 3rd position. And he's going to get ready to clear him through before the dogleg, and indeed he did.
We have 10 laps to go here. Not too far ahead of race leader Michael Kruger. There is some lap traffic.
It's going to be...
Oh, spinning in the back! Wrecking, sliding! Mark Frimpong saves it, however, contact with Bridger Olsen sends the 53 around.
And I noticed Jeffrey Armistead was sliding as well. Armistead's still rolling. But that puts Bridger Olsen into the best spot. Armistead just looking outside.
Yeah, Olsen now in position to transfer, and Frimpong 4 seconds behind these guys, just now getting back up to speed in that 53, and long way for him to catch up in just 9 laps. That's not going to happen here unless he gets a caution, and very unfortunate one didn't come out for his slide there.
But as mentioned, lap traffic just in front of the leader. This is them, 3 cars. And just in the background, you see the race leader, Michael Kruger. This is Canfield, Pacheco, and Marshall all battling. And Kruger is right there.
Yeah, and his lead has shrunk to Glenn Bundren Jr. Not sure if it's a result of him catching these lap cars and being in their dirty air as Anthony Marshall pulls over for him here. But it's going to be a challenge with those two just side by side ahead of him.
4 to go.
Oh, Pacheco got loose right there. That's not what Kruger wants to see in his windshield.
Oh, Pacheco gets loose again.
Oh, a bump from Kruger. Let him know to get out of the way.
Kruger side by side with Pacheco. Off final corner. 2 laps to go. Pacheco up into the wall and closing in. That is Glenn Bundren Jr. in second place, just behind. As
Yeah, the lead
Canfield
is
gets out of the way. Go ahead, Adam.
the lead has shrunk to 0.7 of a second. It was well over 2 seconds there for Michael Kruger at one point in this run. He's going to be able to extend it here.
Final lap here for Michael Kruger as he is out of the dog leg and now into the final corner. Michael Kruger, he's going to cross checkered flag and be the winner of the Open.
The final transfer spot at the end. Casey Shepard hangs on to it, so he'll join Michael Kruger, Ethan Fonseca Moreno, Glenn Bundren Jr., and Bridger Olson in the All-Star race.
We wait to hear who our fan vote is. Make it based off of the fan vote.
I've got my money on it being that 16 car of Jonathan Canfield.
I do have the fan vote results.
All right, well, let's go ahead.
Jared
and...
Wilson won the fan vote.
Jared Wilson.
Good thing I didn't bet the farm, huh?
Jared Wilson was part of this race, exited out early, so another opportunity for Jared Wilson. Let's go ahead and talk to our top 3 finishers. Dawson, I'll let you go ahead and take Glenn Bundren Jr. so you can get ready for the All-Star race.
Hey, Glenn Bundren Jr., this is Dawson Allen over at the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, a 3rd place run here for you tonight. Sets you up to go racing just a little bit later on in the All-Star Open, the All-Star main event, excuse me. How are you feeling heading into this big, long race up ahead?
Oh, yeah, I got a 50-lap practice run right there. I think I got the most use out of that. Got to say my tires just a little bit better. Ethan closed on me. There were 10 to go. I let him by. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to this All-Star race. I'm glad I was able to race my way in rather than get the fan vote. But, yeah, it should be awesome. What, 150 laps for $50? So, yeah, it should be fun to watch.
Alrighty, well, you're joining me as well as a couple other guys here. What are your thoughts now with that extra 50 laps of practice? How do you feel as you get ready to go do battle with us?
Well, it's going to be chaotic. I'm not sure how many cars are going to be on the track at the same time, but if we can just get through like the first, I don't know, 50% of the race caution free, I think I should have a good chance. Tires don't go away, but once they go away, you pretty much fall off the cliff. They're tend to go in that last stint or that B main, if you will. My right front was cooked, as you probably saw on the broadcast. But it should be fun. I'm lucky to race with the best in this league right now.
Alrighty, we'll let you go. Before that, anybody want to shout out sponsors, teammates? Who got you here to get in racing in the All-Star race?
Bunch of lawn care. I know they're not in the car. I just had to throw on a scheme on Train Paint. So bunch of lawn care, Blaze Designs. He's normally on the car. 219 Racing, and you guys for the broadcast. It's always one heck of a broadcast with you guys.
Alrighty, that is your third place finisher here tonight, racing his way into the All-Star race, Glenn Bunner Jr. Congrats, Glenn. Congrats, Glenn.
Thank you.
And we will kick it to Adam, who I believe is caught up to our second place finisher here tonight.
And I'm going to pipe in. I'm not seeing Moreno. So, Adam, let's go ahead and dial up the race winner.
Hey, Michael, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, Adam.
Well, you were able to dominate that 50-lap heat race pretty much. What was that like in the All-Star Open? A lot of cautions at the opening. There, what was that like?
Well, I really honestly didn't even anticipate to qualify second, first off, really. Just really, I just got a good restart at the opening stage, and I really don't even know how I got the lead. And then I got the lead. I just kind of just surprised myself, and I just drove away. I really just honestly barely showed up here for practice. I really did not anticipate one bit of like even being that remotely competitive at all. I shocked myself.
Well, you were catching lap traffic pretty quick there. When you caught that pack of 3 cars, what was going through your mind? And were you watching the lead there go down?
Oh yeah, I was pretty much every lap or so, I was like constantly keeping my eye on the gap behind me. I was looking, it was 2 seconds, and then when I caught Jonathan and Christian up there, like I know they were like fighting hard for position, but it was just a little like a tad frustrating a bit, like getting behind them because like I knew I believe Bundren, sorry if I don't know who it is, the 66. He was starting to approach quickly, and I just needed to. I really just wanted to get by the lap traffic, and I mean, I kind of feel a little bad, honestly, for calling them out, like for like being in the way, but like they're trying to race for position. But I mean, it sorted itself out. So I mean, it's all good then.
Well, you were able to win the Open. Yeah, going into the 150-lap main event. Now, what do you have to think about the All-Star race?
I guess survive. I mean, I'm gonna be racing with the best in SJRL, and I really did not imagine myself in this position to be in the All Star race at all. I did not think I was gonna make it. I thought I was like too slow on pace, and I don't know how I put myself in. But I mean, I'm just gonna be trying to keep it clean here. I mean, I've only made one start in this league, so I'm gonna try not to make enemies really tonight and try to race my competitors as clean as I can at such a small track like Concord.
Well, congrats on the win. Who do you like to shout out after this and going into the All-Star?
Oh, well, I just got to thank none other than boss man Cameron Caldwell for having me a part of Radius Racing. Thankful to be a part of Radius, and glad to represent them here in the All-Star race for SJRL, and hopefully I can get a good result for Radius.
All right, hopefully we get to talk to you a little bit later tonight, Michael, and good luck.
Thanks, Adam.
That was a All-Star race winner, Josh. Open winner, excuse me.
Indeed it was, but that's going to do it from us here in the Open. You don't have to go anywhere. We're still going to be here, but we're going to be taking a quick break to switch things around, hop into a different session, and we'll be back here in a few minutes. You don't have to go anywhere. You can keep it right here. So until then, we'll see you here in the All-Star race shortly. And we are back here for the All-Star race. This is the actual All-Star race. So we got done with the Open. Michael Kruger, of course, taking the race win there. Guys, well, actually, you know what? Before I even go any further, of course, I am Josh Copperl. I'm joined by Adam Kuhn. And this time, instead of Dawson Allen, we have one of the drivers that normally drives in the MF Racing Design Sled Jawb Racing League, Noah Mayuri. Noah, you're joining us. We'll get to that here in a few minutes, but how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I was looking forward to this race, but at the same time I wasn't, so this works out great.
All right, so now let's get to where I was going at with that. So guys, Noah, I'll let you go first because you're our guest in the booth. Who do you think's going to win tonight? Who is your pick to actually take home the All-Star win?
Well, I think this track is really difficult. So my guess is going to be someone like Michael Thorpe Jr. That's who I'm going to go with. He's really strong at pretty much all track types, and I think that'll translate well tonight to this track.
I'm going to go with Dylan Parker. We saw him compete for the win at Kansas a couple weeks ago, and he put on quite a show for us in the booth. And he's a blast to watch almost every track we go to. For all season long, he's been fun to watch, and I think it's going to be fun on this unique, like Noah mentioned, this unique, difficult track tonight.
I'm going to go with Blaze McKinney. I think he's really showed some good speed already as the season has progressed. I think McKinney's going to take him home an All-Star win. I got it right in the Open, guys. See how I do here in the All-Star events. So the green flag is out. Martin battling with Caden Atkins on his outside. And one in the wall. I believe that's going to be the number 8 of Dawson Allen.
Yeah, Dawson was having a hard time in practice. He couldn't get a ton of laps under his belt consecutively. Having that damage in the opening going here is really going to put him on the back foot here, and it's going to be a long night for him with the rest of this race here, Noah.
William Martin got into the wall. We have a new race leader. It's going to be Caden Atkins. And I'm not sure. I'm having some technical difficulties. There we go. So, Caden Atkins leads. William Martin in second. Michael Thorpe Jr. in third. That's McKinney in fourth. But McKinney, he's looking to take that third position away from Michael Thorpe Jr. And McKinney started seventh. He's in fourth. But just behind Jonathan Parker. That's number 48. Going back to his favorite driver, Jimmy Johnson. Strong as well.
Yeah, you mentioned guys moving up through the field. Both he and Dylan right there behind him, who's got right there to his back bumper off turn 4. They have been carving up through the field little by little here in the opening laps.
Dawson has dropped all the way to the tail of the field. He started third.
So, yeah, familiar number there for Dawson Allen, the 8. Familiar as in that is your number. not looking so good tonight.
Yeah, I think the hard part is he had such limited practice, and like he said before the Open, this is a really difficult track to get around, and especially with this particular setup, it's really tight into the corner, and it gets kind of loose getting up off of the corner when you get back into the throttle. So that seems to be his biggest problem, is when he gets up off of the corner, he's a little sideways and gets up into the wall, and that's obviously going to slow you down.
All-Star Open winner Michael Kruger battling with Moreno. Oh, Kruger gonna slide there, just in front of Glenn Bundren Jr. And we have a car around. It's gonna be number 17, and Michael Kruger gonna go around as well. That was Brian Dees that actually brought the caution out. Let's go ahead and take a look at our replay. Might have had a little bit of help there.
Yeah, it looked like it was Chase Shepard right behind him coming off that dogleg on the back straightaway, and that Daryl Waltrip paint scheme is going to go for a slide and have to check up for Michael Kruger there after his incident with Glenn Bundren Jr.
Right, so while we're under caution, I think it's a great time to explain kind of what's going on here with Dawson Allen. Take it over to number 8. Earlier in the week, well, actually late last week, rather, Friday night, Adam and I, we hosted JCTV Invitational. It was a dirt race, inviting drivers from all 3 of the leagues that we broadcast for. And there was a little friendly bet between yourself and Dawson. So tell us a little bit about that.
So as a joke, Caden Atkins, who is one of the team owners of Peak Performance Motorsports, which is the team I drive for, and we're good friends, but he made a bet that if one of the JCTV guys finished ahead of me in that race, they would get my car for this week. And obviously, Jonathan Canfield was in that race, but he already has a ride, so he didn't count. And I was running sort of up towards the front, and kind of got spun around at the end. And Dawson passed me at the very end. We both had a ton of damage, and he ended up beating me to the line. So, it started out as a joke, but ended up becoming a reality really quickly.
Flag back in the air. Caden Atkins with a great jump. Look at Blaze McKinney using the inside line to his advantage. Going to jump up to second position, and now, well, Michael Thorpe Jr. drives it in deep. They're going to make contact. McKinney goes wide, still hanging on to it. They're still side by side in one.
Yeah, you can really see Thorpe right now just wheeling it on the inside, trying to hang on to that position. He's having a hard time doing that. Blaze McKinney looks really strong on that high side. 2, 3, and 4 especially. He's going to be able to clear him on the front straightaway.
Oh, Thorpe's going to go around. That's going to bring out our next caution. And a lot of drivers going around as a result. Looks like Casey Shepard. Reno, Shepard. Some other guys in the back joining in as well. So this race, being the All-Star race, it does have segments. Segment number 1 ends at the conclusion of 25 laps. So we're almost at the end of segment 1. Segment 2 will last for 10 laps, so it'll be at the conclusion of 35 and 115 laps to finish off segment 3. Still a long way to go tonight as we are only complete with 16, going to be 17 at the line with 133 laps to go. Green flag back in the air, Dave Mackey's. Once again with a great jump, and here comes Dylan Parker. Not strong enough to stay underneath Blaze McKinney though.
No, and here comes William Martin back up into the top 5. Looked to be on the inside of Dylan Parker there, couldn't quite do it on the front straightaway. We saw momentarily he got a bump by McKinney outside of the top 5. He was our early race leader, trying to get back up towards the front.
Top 5 underneath William Martin. Look at EFM right behind Parker. He's just involved in that accident.
Yeah, and he leads those who qualified in through the open in this race right now in the main event, and he is leading a train of them right now through the field. Right behind him is Michael Walls, and then right behind him is Glenn Bunger Jr. But the cautions out, I believe Michael got spun, last week's winner. Yeah, the track fills up fast with cars spun out like that, and a couple of airborne there. And the entire front straightaway was littered with cars all over it.
I believe race control is calling that the end of segment 1, even though we're not counting cautions. And while this is a short race, they do have 3 sets of tires tonight, so that's 1 that's on the car and 2 extra in the pits. So while it's not a long race, tires are pretty important here. So I'll be interested to see if anybody takes advantage of it on the next segment caution.
So, apparently my microphone was muted. Heard that from Noah Mary, this was the end of segment number 1, which the winner of segment 1 went to Caden Atkins. Race car is going to put the safety of pit road, and Atkins is going to lead us back to green.
Blaze McKinney not letting Atkins get away at all. He was searching all over the track trying to find the line around that 2. Can't do anything now. So we look back at Bridger Olsen get loose in the center of 3 and 4.
And riding on board with Jonathan Parker. Here, just how much throttle he's giving him. We do have that battle for the race lead.
Blaze finally found a way to get to the outside of Atkins to see if he can carry that momentum up. I think he's a little bit faster up. He's been passing a lot of cars on that higher line pretty much the entire race when he's able to make passes. But Atkins is going to slide up to 3 and 4. They're 3 wide for the lead.
Oh man, they're holding on to it. But Bridger Olsen, he is looking to make some noise here. Blaze McKinney stuck on that outside line. McKinney actually looking to take the race lead away from Caden Atkins. He's doing a great job, but there's a spin behind. Caution is out.
Casey Shepard was the first one to spin, I believe. 2 more followed in behind him at least.
And Jonathan Parker.
That was a pretty interesting battle for the lead. It looked like the top 6 were all on top of each other there, and it just led to this collision into turn 3. Just so many cars going for the same piece of track. Oh, slight contact there.
Fun fact on Caden Atkins at Concord, he is the last slide job winner at Concord. He won in the Truck Series in Season 2 all the way back in 2018. That was the last time that we ran at this track.
Interesting stat there. For Caden Atkins. There's only a couple more laps until we finish up segment 2. And green flag back in the air. Atkins not wasting any time on those restarts. Olsen and Thorpe side by side in 3rd position. is in the wall. In the back, I believe it might have been William Martin. That time, Glenn Bundren Jr. is going to end up in the wall, losing a few spots. Sega Moreno looking to capitalize on that. Bundren running the high line, doing a great job doing so. But, well, as battle for the race lead was heating up, you're under caution. And this time, it is for Dawson Allen and that number 8 machine.
Yeah, we saw him get that damage on the start pretty much. Said it was going to be a long night for him, and that car was just going to continue to handle worse and worse. And unfortunately, bringing out this yellow, I think is just going to be pretty much going to be the continuation of his night tonight. Yeah, this goes back to what Noah was talking about when we were watching him on the start. Just couldn't get the throttle down like he wanted to in turn 4, off of turn 4. And actually, I think he caught the apron there a little bit too.
The apron a little bit, looks like. This kind of reminds me a little bit of officials this past week, last week actually, Richmond. You know, you had to be so careful at getting back on the throttle, otherwise rear end would just kick out. And it's kind of what we just saw there with Dawson Allen.
Now, one positive for him, even though he's had some damage throughout these first 2 segments, there is a fast repair for this race. So, obviously, you don't want to have to use it this early, but that is an option if he needed it.
Yeah, it is always tough when you have to use a fast repair early on. But it is always nice to have that. Looks like Thorpe's gonna get us back to green. Michael Kruger. Oh! Spinning the tires is Kruger. Getting into the wall. He's gonna lose 4, 5, 6. A ton of positions here.
Oh, he's going to be careful there on the back straightaway, but Caden Atkins did a phenomenal job being aware of the situation, not making it worse. We saw something like that in the Open early tonight where we saw a crash right on the start because someone didn't get the best of starts, and that could have led to a huge pile-up considering Kruger was right there on the front row. So a good job by Atkins to be aware, and everyone on the outside lane not to just ram into each other there, but up front, pretty calmed down for the most part between these guys. Thorpe was able to drive away by half a second over Jonathan Parker.
Looks like we're going to have caution. Every time Blaze McKinney gets to the outside of Caden Atkins, caution comes out. He had parking lot on the front stretch. Looks like William Martin got into the back of Bridger Olson. And the driver's piling in.
When we see stuff like this, Noah, how hard is it just to slam on the brakes and hope that you don't get rammed from behind like we see in these situations?
It's super difficult because obviously you're focused on what's happening in front of you, but at the same time you have to be worried about what's happening behind you, but you also have to be predictable to the people behind you, and that's probably the toughest thing. And especially at a short track like this, where you're messing with your brake bias throughout a run, it may be turned way down, and slamming on the brakes is not a great option. So you may end up spinning into it. Not on purpose, just because of where the brake bias is. So it's really difficult, and especially out of a corner like that, it's already hard enough to see.
Michael Thorpe Jr. gonna just back to the green. Jonathan Parker on the outside. Thorpe did a great job of getting going. And Parker, he's getting a bumper pole of Blaze McKinney.
Yeah, we keep seeing McKinney trying to use a higher line on all these restarts once we get into the runs as well to make these passes, and stuck right now behind Jonathan Parker. I bet he feels like he's in a box, nowhere for him to go, so he's right on board with him. He's got a car to his left, car just ahead, and you see him working that wheel right now, just trying to hang on to that car.
Oh man, Thorpe got loose ahead, and we have a caution. It is going to be Dawson Allen. Again, just getting loose on the exit. Putting it in reverse. And trying to find a safe place to turn around.
With the way this setup is, when you're under a car like that, with the way the car unloads out of the corner, it's just not a great place to be. It's really easy to spin, and it's already hard enough to get on throttle. So being on the inside it certainly doesn't help things.
So we're coming back to green, 108 to go. And Jonathan Parker trying anything he can to past McKinney, but I think McKinney is just way too strong. And now that he's finally ahead of Caden Eckes, McKinney looking to the outside of Thorpe.
Oh, one got hard in the wall off of turn 2. Big contact. Gonna put us under caution again.
That was Caden Eckes. got loose, and I don't think there was any contact between him and Bundren. I don't even think it was netcode. I think Atkins might have just overcorrected it. And that's why his car went directly from sliding left to straight to the outside wall there.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the trickiest spots we've seen on this racetrack. A lot of spots on the track is tricky, like we've heard tonight, and there you see it. Wow. Big wheel input there from driver 2.
Once again, Thorpe leading us to the green. Kenny timed that pretty well, staying side by side with Thorpe.
Big opportunity for McKinney here. We know he's been strong on the outside. He's just had trouble placing his car there. Thorpe's going to slide up here through the center 4.
And needs to do anything he can to keep him back there, but it's almost too little too late here as McKinney almost has Thorpe clear. He does, and a big slide out of Parker in third. Gonna open up the door. Caution is out. It happened to the back.
Oh, and Jonathan Parker got wrecked after and got lifted into the air.
Yeah, as that caution was coming out, there was contact up ahead. Let's see what the actual caution was for. Spun out. Oh, I believe actually that was Micah Walls. No, you're right. It was Brian Dees. Michael Walls also involved in that with Caden Atkins. John Parker incident. Just after that. So Blaze McKinney, Dylan Parker, Ben Bundren Jr., Casey Shepard, Moreno making the top 5. Green flag back out, and McKinney, he spun the tires just a little bit, started sliding, but he's gonna hold on to it as Dylan Parker gets up on the outside wall.
Yeah, he swung that right real wide there, but he was able to keep the car underneath of him down the back straightaway. Now he's racing Glenn Bundren Jr., one of our transfer drivers from the open into turn 1. He's going to be able to barely maintain that second position for the time being. Here comes Ethan Moreno, another transfer driver, into the top 4, contending right there with Bundren Jr. for that position.
Moreno run a little wide. Oh, trouble. That's going to be Michael Kruger going around.
Another car spun almost into the pit lane. It is Michael Thorpe. Well, Thorpe was a little instigated, I think, to begin with. It was Atkins, Kruger, and then Thorpe in contact right there in that dog leg. Spun them both around.
Actually, it was going to be the 23, showing 2 on the car. 23 of Bridge Olson. Pace car is going to come in. 98 laps to go at the line. Blaze McKinney. Dylan Parkins is outside. Green flag. Shepard in 5th place. He was real strong in the open. He's got a earful of Bridger Olson.
Yeah, you mentioned how strong he was in the open. Actually, he had the fastest lap time in the practice just beforehand, and I had a lot of drivers in the main event right now, the All-Star race itself, in that. But you got wide there off the dog leg, going to allow Olsen to get to his inside here and contest that spot, but we got a crash on the back straightaway. 3 cars involved. Michael Kruger, one of them.
Ryan Dees.
Oh.
And Dawson Allen get together. Kruger. Innocent,
Yeah, we saw 2 of them use the pit attenuator there.
Replays brought to you by Burnham Motorsport Design. Justin makes paid schemes for drivers that run here. And Racing Design, Jawb Racing League. Green, still Blaze McKinney and Dylan Parker on the front row. 94 laps to go. Green flag is back in the air. Mason Shepard underneath Marino. He had a great exit off the corner. Bridger Olson trying to hold on to position, being under attack from the court.
Dylan Parker looks really strong when they first fire off as wow. Glenn Bundren had a huge slide right there off turn 4. I was getting ready to say he was closing up on Parker for that second position. But that huge slide off turn 4 is going to cost him his time as Ethan Moreno got to his outside there, and here comes Shepard. Oh, Shepard's going to slide him to turn 3 and make contact with the 43. They both save it, but slide to a stop, and we're on to caution yet again, Josh.
Shepard just I don't know, it kind of looks like he just bottomed out and went right. If he missed a braking or a lifting zone there. His car just did not turn.
Yeah, he definitely looked like he went in that corner pretty hot compared to everyone else.
Green flag back out. And caution. It's time for Michael Walls.
Yep, spun off onto the pit exit off that restart there.
Not get going in front of him. He got tagged from behind by the 17. Ryan Dees. Pace laps are shortened. We're going back green already. See Parker, Dylan Parker that is, tried to time the restart just right. Kinney saw that. Didn't want much of it. And Parker going to lose position to Bundren here. Dylan Parker already looking to take it back. Shepard in the wall. Dylan Parker still working. Glenn Bundren Jr. finally clears him. And we've got a lot of calamity in the back. Dude, that's going to be, yeah, William Martin just stuck against the wall.
Yeah, he's going to fall all the way to 14th place. You mentioned Casey Shepard, he fell all the way to 13th with his contact with the wall. And all those other guys were able to keep their cars somehow righted the right direction for the time being. And that was just a huge gagger of cars. Looks like the battle for P6 of the top 5 have really split themselves away from that rest of the field.
How about our All-Star Open winner, Michael Greer, running P6? Just in front of Michael Walls and Jonathan Parker. Trouble on the front stretch. Shepard and Atkins. they slowed down, no caution.
And then we also see William Martin has come down pit road after his incident there with the wall a couple moments ago. As we see past up here in the top 5, Michael Thorpe Jr., Bridger Olsen couldn't quite do it with that 23 car, so he's going to have to stay right there and try another way around 34 Michael Thorpe Jr.
This is for 4th position. See just how tough it is to get around this track.
Yeah, non-stop these drivers are just working the wheel right now, and he is sawing at the steering wheel going around this entire 4/10 mile track. Wow, big slide right there off the 4th corner.
You know, 2 tracks come to mind when I think about this track and how it drives. And one of them, you may call me a little crazy, so let me explain. And I'm gonna say Chicagoland. The simple fact of it seems like you're always turning. You know, Chicagoland, despite being a 1.5-mile track, that back straightaway, it wasn't straight. It was curved, and so you were pretty much always turning. The other track that comes to mind is Phoenix. Before they put the paved dogleg, it was just grass. You see kind of right here, kind of like the dogleg at Phoenix. You know, it really forces you to stay up, but it kind of just reminds me of that in a way. And, another shorter style racing. At Phoenix. Phoenix, of course, a mile track. And it looks like Dylan Parker had a moment. That's going to open up the door for Thorpe to get on by.
Oh, Bundren had a huge slide there in turn 2. But yeah, not only did Thorpe get by Dylan Parker there for that position, but he also got by Glenn Bundren Jr. About 2 laps ago, as Bundren's going to surrender that 4th spot now to Bridger Olsen, so he's finally tracked the top 4.
Bundren's going to slide.
the pit window to make it to the end of the race. Well, and we've got a caution, so I expect a lot of people to be on pit road here.
And it looks like it is going to be Dawson Allen. Dawson off the wall. Trying to get back into his rhythm. Just caught the apron and lost control. Spinning around, crate heads up by, I think that was Atkins.
Yeah, not only Atkins, but really the rest of the field arrived on the scene pretty quickly, and everyone did a good job checking up right there. And it was pretty hairy moment there on the front straightaway for a split second. So we see some of these pit stops going on here.
So we're seeing the lap since everybody last pit. And it was 34 laps ago. Kruger, it was 40. And Kruger, you see those 40 lap old tires as he's gonna spin the tires on the restart, having issues. But he is still in second place.
We saw right there Dawson Allen restarted first of those on the fresher tires, ducked out of the way through the dog leg, knowing he's not going to be competitive with the rest of these guys on those one lap old tires. Now as Dylan Parker sawing it to the inside of turn 1, and there y'all came together, and Michael Kruger is going to come to a spin the turn 2 wall because of it.
You know, Dawson actually was not on pressure tires. Dawson was the last
Yep, my bad.
car to
Yep.
have stayed out. Parker plays McKinney. They were trying so hard to get around Michael Kruger there. And McKinney looks like just got into the back of Kruger, sent Kruger around.
And obviously tires are a big deal everywhere, but we were seeing about a second of fall off on a 50 lap run. So obviously he was really close to that. So new tires and McKinney being probably the fastest car in the field, there was a big pace difference there, and it was just really unfortunate.
And McKinney's going to be restarting front row on the outside here. Thorpe's kind of sitting duck here as we go back green.
Really surprised Thorpe didn't take the outside. Force McKinney on the inside.
And I agree with you, actually, with the run that you can get on the outside. But right there, it's actually working for Dylan Parker instead.
Yeah, we saw Dylan Parker go to the inside on that last restart and try and force the issue, and he's trying to force the issue again, and he easily made quick work of Michael Thorpe. As Blaze McKinney was struggling there, he allowed Bridger Olsen on the inside. Now Jonathan Parker is going around him. He's fallen to 5th.
Oh. Jonathan Parker got loose. McKinney struggling to get around Parker.
Yeah, and Caden Atkins is not having the time for that. He's going to slide and bring out the next caution. He was right on their back bumpers, guys, and he was trying to force the issue. I think he just got a little eager there, trying to get back on the throttle, picked it up too soon, trying to make a 3-wide pass or something down the back there, and it just spun out from underneath him.
Jr. going to come down pit road. top three is going to be Dylan Parker, Bridger Olson, and Jonathan Parker. It seems like no driver really has had a clean race at all. Seems like everybody's been involved in something at some point in this race. Blaze McKinney going to restart in 4th position. See if he can rebound. Back up front, he's been close to the 9th. Pace car is in, and Dylan Parker will lead us to green. Jonathan Parker with a great restart underneath Bridger Olson. On board from the rear bumper of Jonathan Parker.
Yeah, this is the highest he has run all night tonight. He really hasn't been up at the front. He's been right in the middle, really, and finally forcing his way through the top 5. But you see Bridger Olson right there trying to put that pressure on for that 2nd spot.
Gets around Blaze McKinney, who seems to be struggling now, as McKinney is going to be playing defense against Caden Atkins and Michael Thorpe, who drives in deep in the corner. Thorpe had to lift.
Yeah, there was a big checkup by that 34. He lost a bunch of time, but he bombed it in there in the center of 1 and 2, gained a lot of it back, but the caution's going to fly to negate that all anyway.
I think it was for Glenn Bunder Jr. Couldn't exactly tell. I thought it was one of our 2 cars, but it wasn't Atkins or Bridger Olson. It might be Glenn Bunder. Indeed it was. He got loose off last corner, and Kruger tagged him from behind on the straightaway.
I can't decide if...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I can't decide if McKinney slid his tires in that incident earlier, or if he's trying to save. I don't know how many sets he has left, but definitely doesn't seem to have the same pace as earlier.
It seems like he's just kind of falling off a bit here. Starting in 5th position with 55 laps to go. Green flag. He's back waving. Is the 2 Parkers out front. Jonathan Parker chase down Dylan Parker.
And these three are once again all uniform in line around each corner, just nose to tail, trying to be a little bit better than each other, as we saw right there. Dylan Parker with a little bit of a slide. Jonathan couldn't quite capitalize a little bit further back in the field. Onboard Caden Atkins is going to see those top three just drive away a little bit, and Ethan Moreno trying to tuck on to the back of them.
Jonathan Parker getting loose. 100 down, 50 to go here in Concord Speedway. See this battle, it is six cars deep for this race lead. Still anybody's race. Parker, Jonathan Parker, Bridger Olson, Ethan Monseca Moreno, Caden Atkins, and Michael Thorpe Jr. All pretty much nose to tail of each other. We're a big gap back to Blaise McKinney.
Oh, another slip right there from Jonathan Parker through the dog leg on the back straightaway, and again entering turn 3 are going to allow Olsen to finally make a move up for the second position on the inside into turn 1.
Yeah, a couple mistakes there by Jonathan Parker, but luckily he was able to tuck back in the line, so he wasn't passed by a few more drivers. Under attack from Caden Atkins and Thorpe Jr. They tuck back into line. Atkins and Moreno. Tail, the 4th position. Bridger Olson, he has ran down Dylan Parker. Bridger Olson, he wants this lead. Back here for what is the 7th position. Mike Kruger is looking underneath Blaise McKinney. Brian D's right there as well.
Yeah, Chase Shepard right there behind Brian Dees, trying to make a move a little bit further inside the top 10, as that's right where he runs. But back up front to the race lead, the gap is now down to a 10th and a half, and Bridger Olsen looked like he was trying to make a move on the front straightaway, just couldn't get enough grip off the 4th corner exit, but he's still right there down the back straight.
Have a caution as Jonathan Parker around, and somebody stopped. I think it's Monseca Moreno. drivers made contact. Some drivers staying out here. And others coming down pit road. Looks like Thorpe, Moreno, Shepard, and Jonathan Parker all stayed out. Bridger Olson going to win the race off pit road. With Dylan Parker, Caden Atkins, Michael Walls, Blaze McKinney, and Ryan Dees. I believe that's going to be the order which they restart. And Jonathan Parker actually did come down pit road. So pace car is going to make its way to pit road. 35 laps to go when we go back green. Top three on older tires. Gonna be three wide back here. Blaze McKinney for a moment was in the middle. They solved it, not quite, and calamity.
Wow, that should have been a lot bigger than what it was, despite it involving how many it did. That's gonna really put a derail on Blaze McKinney's night. We already talked about how much he's been struggling this half of the race, and guys, he is going to be in a deep pit if he wants to continue for this win. He was able to scrape through it there, but he got some damage, I think, but not a lot of guys spun out there, and they're really going to be in trouble here on these tires.
I'm wondering, is there an incident limit?
There's a 25x incident limit, yes.
I'm wondering if Casey Shepard reached that limit because I've seen him just disappear. Watch his car, and it's gone.
Yes, he did hit the limit, yep.
Yeah, we have seen him be involved in quite a few cautions, especially in the first half of this race, so it's very unfortunate for him. He was very strong in the All-Star Open we saw earlier tonight, and he had some really good pace in the first half of this race when he wasn't being involved in other people's other circumstances going on.
So green flag back out. And
Oh, Blaze McKinney around.
just as green flag comes out, the caution flag waves.
He was really slow on that restart.
Got tagged a little bit from behind, but yeah, I want to go back and see. Sounds like some shifting issue there, Kenny. So Thorpe is the only one inside the top 5 that is on tires older than 3 laps. His tires being 30 laps old. And there is still 33 laps to go at the line. And green flag is waving. Thorpe went early. He had a good jump. Olsen able to tuck into line pretty quickly, but good to see the difference his tires make. As Olsen is working his way up, but it's not going to matter. As, yeah, another incident involving Michael Kruger and Brian Dees.
Whoa.
It's like Kruger a little too hot going into the corner, got into the back of Dees. It's like Jonathan Parker might have just barely been tagged on the side.
Well, Noah, Josh, I'm sure you guys have been part of many of these types of races where it's just a bunch of start-stop, hard to get in rhythm with things. What's the mentality of that when we get towards the end like we are right now, where we really can't get a run in, but we're still knowing any green flag could be the last one of the night?
You know, sometimes it is kind of funny on iRacing when you do get races like this, and then all of a sudden, you know, you think you're going to have another caution. You do start to go green for a bit before caution comes out, or just stay green to the end. It can be frustrating. Just, you know, you want to get into a rhythm, you want the caution or the laps to wind down a lot quicker than what they are. These drivers, I'm sure they're a little bit frustrated right now. It's back to green. Wilson. Well, Dylan Parker around. Oh, Blaze McKinney hard into the back of Clint Thunder Jr. Those drivers able to drive away. A lot of front end damage to that front of that 87. Just committed to going down to the bottom to avoid the accident as they were going down the track. A lot of times as a race car driver, you know, accidents tend to wash up the track, and so you tend to go down. But I think these drivers were trying to get control of their car down towards the bottom of the track. And, unfortunate set of circumstances there.
I'm assuming Thorpe does not have any more tires left in the pits, or he just assumes that we're going to continue to get cautions, because I think now would have been the opportunity to pit and make up positions while you still can. I don't think you can at this point. I think he's committed.
30 laps to go. He's got to hold on. Oh, they're going to be 3 wide. Chase McKinney from the inside. Trying to get 2 for 1. He's going to get past Jonathan Parker here. Oh, and Thorpe. Thorpe was loose, saved it. But lost the lead to Bridget Olson, and he's about to lose second to Caden Atkins. Atkins is looking low. Caution. 9, Michael Walls going around.
Oh wow, Dawson Allen, front bumper of him getting into Michael Walls, but it looks like Michael just kind of crowded Dawson going in that corner a little bit, and Dawson was already on the apron at that point when they made contact. Those two, of course, not having great nights.
And it's going to be 1 to green. This time it's Olson. Olson goes. Atkins got a great jump. Thorpe just holding on for dear life.
Yeah, Thorpe's best chance is just to hang on the outside for as long as he can, make it a little bit harder for people to pass him, because basically everybody else has got way better tires than he does. That pace difference is massive.
And caution. Brian D is getting to the back of Dawson Allen, and I can't tell who else that is. Oh, Michael Walls also involved.
Surprised we stayed green. Definitely not going to complain about that though.
Yeah, we are green.
Oh, Glenn Bundren's around.
And Bundren, I believe, tried to tow it before caution came out, but it was too late.
I'll be really interested to see what kind of pace Caden Atkins has. Obviously, he was up front earlier in the race, had a lot of damage. Seems to have gotten most of that fixed, and is now all the way back up to the front.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good run. Get back up there. Still see some front end damage on front of his machine. It's not really slowing him down too much. Jonathan Parker underneath Atkins for second position.
Dylan Parker got pinballed there on the high line between Michael Thorpe and two of Caden Atkins there, and he was able to keep it underneath him surprisingly. Still on the high side, trying to make a spot on Michael Kruger there.
Jonathan Parker is just trying so hard to get around Atkins, but that higher line really helps you get the run off the corner. You can pinch the guy down on the inside. And this is Case Atkins finally clearing Jonathan Parker, and now Dylan Parker trying to do the same. As Dylan Parker will be able to complete the pass on Jonathan Parker. Now look at Dylan Parker going to the inside of Caden Atkins.
Going to be a tough pass considering what you just mentioned, Josh. We've seen time and time again that top line work, and it's where you can keep the momentum, especially through this dog leg right there, and especially through 3 and 4. And that's not going to work for Dylan Parker, so he's going to ditch his plan, go to the top 2.
I think Dylan's best chance is to back up his entry into 1 and try to get a run off of the corner. Still going to have to pass underneath Caden, but I don't see any other way he gets around him easily.
That's going to be really tough. You know, in a situation like that, you really want to make your car wide. With the driver on the outside pitching you down, you want to try to make your car wide to get the run off the corner. But it is hard to do so. Mike Wall's got super loose there, was able to save it. And Jonathan Parker, a moment, almost catching that wall. He might have scraped it just a tad bit, but now he is under pressure from Michael Kruger. Kruger, the All-Star Open winner, trying to make his way into 4th position. Jonathan Parker did a great job holding him off, though, as Dylan Parker battling with Caden Atkins once again, side by side for that second position.
Yeah, it might take him a couple laps here, but he's got momentum on his side. He just needs to keep pushing the issue here, and he can get this pass complete here. And he's going to slide up the track a little bit. That might help. He just can't do it too much because it leaves it vulnerable for Jonathan Parker there.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about there, is making your car wide. You saw Dylan Parker, he was getting tight, but he was sliding up the track, which is forcing Atkins to have to do the same thing. And Jonathan Parker and Atkins, a little bit of contact there.
Yeah, Caden's slipping back now that he lost that spot to Dylan. Jonathan's to his inside, of course, and Jonathan's not going to make this pass easy as he's going to slide up the track himself. Almost contact between he and Caden, and Jonathan's been split 3 wide.
Yeah, they were 3 wide there for a moment. Michael Kruger saw an opportunity, took it. Kruger P3, but battling with Blaze McKinney. McKinney holding on to the outside. Sorry, make that P4. This battle.
Unfortunately for Dylan Parker, he made the pass on Caden Atkins, but I just don't think there's enough time without a caution for him to get to him.
Yeah, the racing hard might cause a caution here in turn 1 and 2, but you're right. Parker is not catching Bridge Wilson at all, Noah.
Oh, Mike Kruger looking to take it 3. Atkins got into McKinney just a little bit. And there's going to be contact. Somehow they keep it straight. And for Bridger Olson, he just wants to get to that checkered flag, or the start-finish line rather, to get the white flag. And it is out, 1 lap to go for Bridger Olson. He can coast from here. As off the final corner, across the stripe, it's going to be Bridger Olson, your all-star winner. Dylan Parker is going to bring it home P2, Blaze McKinney 3rd, Caden Atkins 4th, and Michael Kruger finishing in 5th.
Well, he ran away from them there at the end, guys. That was pretty great performance when it mattered, and drove away from the field every time it mattered, and every restart he put himself right where he needed to be to make it count.
Bridger Olson celebrates, turning it down. Let's go ahead and see if we can get Blaze McKinney. So, oh, there we go. Noah, you want to give a hand or give it a try at an interview?
Oh boy.
We'll have you talk to Blaze McKinney.
All right. Blaze McKinney. What a race. That was you had an incredible run at the beginning of that race. Ran up front from the majority of the race. Had a little bit of contact towards the middle to end of the race. What happened there, and what happened to some of the speed that was in the car earlier?
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely threw this one away. I feel like I had the fastest car, I think. I mean, once I got out front, I was pretty much smooth sailing. I didn't really have any issues the whole first half of the race. And then I got off strategy about at the second half of the race from all the other guys. I got caught in the back, and it was just a wreck fest back there, so I was just trying to survive and got caught up in a couple of wrecks. And I think I just got off strategy. I stayed out, or I didn't stay out, but I didn't take tires with some of the other guys, but I probably should have. And I got behind on the strategy, and then just got caught back there with all the chaos in the back. And yeah, it's pretty disappointing. I mean, you don't really get anything for third place, so doesn't feel like really did much. I should have won, I feel like, but it was still fun. I had a lot of fun at this. I didn't think this car track combo was going to be as fun as it was, but I had a lot of fun. But definitely, I feel like I had the win there. I felt really fast, confident about it.
Well, you looked really fast the whole race. You obviously, at the end, you were a little bit further behind, but you made it back up to really close to the front. And still a good race regardless. You know, you've done pretty well throughout the season so far. Obviously, this race doesn't count for points, but does this give you any confidence going forward that you had race-winning speed? Obviously, you felt like you threw it away, but you had race-winning speed. Does that give you confidence going into the rest of the season?
Definitely, I think so. Got some tough tracks coming up, especially Dover. It's gonna be tough, but I like Dover, so some confidence going into there should help. I really need I really need a miracle to make it to the playoffs. About like I think I'm 39 points out. I don't know if that's even doable. I really don't know the math there, but I'm going to try my best and see what we can do. Try to win one of these two or both of them, or just run really well. Just can't have any issues. Atlanta killed me. I got destroyed. So good run today. This really definitely helps. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, who gets it done for you?
Definitely 219 Racing, Glenn. All partners, bunch of lawn care. Toyota. I run a Toyota today just for fun. Why not? I usually run Chevy, but who cares? It was for fun. Had a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys putting on the league every week and putting on the broadcast. Had a lot of fun with it. So can't wait till next week. We got an off week, right? So 2 weeks then.
Yeah, and we'll have a for fun race next week to fill in the time. So hopefully we'll see you there. But if not, see you in a couple weeks at Dover.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
And that was Blaze McKinney, tonight's third place finisher. I believe, Adam, you have tonight's second place finisher, Dylan Parker.
Hey Dylan, you got a copy? Hey Dylan, it's the boys in the booth. You got us? Well, I do not, Josh.
So we will go to our race winner. Well, Bridger, you come home as the race winner, and not only that, you are an all-star. How does it feel?
It feels great. I came up short of the championship last season, so I'm happy that I got something other than regular season wins to add to my resume.
This race was tough, had a lot of cautions in it, and a little bit of a different strategy from some drivers to yourself. What was going through your mind there with some drivers pitting on a different strategy than what you had?
Yeah, the strategy was pretty fun. I was just trying to stay out as long as I can, save my tire sets for the end. But then as the race went on, I kind of figured that tires wouldn't matter as much since it was all under caution. So I ended up not really saving my last pair and taking it at lap 120, and it worked out.
Well, 2 races remain in the regular season. Of course, we have a bye week next week, but does this help build confidence heading into the chase?
I don't really know. Probably, yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna be racing the chase at all. Uh, this was pretty fun, some of it, but yeah, I don't know. That's gonna be a weekly decision if I race.
All right. Well, before I let you go, who gets it done for you?
Yeah, thank you to Noah Mary for putting this on. It was pretty fun. My team, Peak Performance Motorsports, for racing with me, and that's it.
All righty. Well, congrats on the big win, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you.
That was race winner, Bridger Olson, and your Season 10 All-Star. Guys, what a race we saw tonight. Had lots of cautions, but a lot of battling up front.
Yeah, it was a good battle up front for the lead when we were under green belt, like you mentioned, a lot of cautions. I think that's pretty typical for exhibition races, like you and I both know and experienced the other night. But I think that's just part for the course, especially if with a short track like Concord, and we saw a lot of contact, we saw a lot of slipping. We saw that in the open. We saw a lot of cautions right off the bat in the open, but they were able to get some green flag laps going after them, but just we couldn't really in the main event other than that. But like you mentioned, it was fun battles up front and throughout the entire field, really at the end especially. It wasn't a battle up front, it was a battle for third and fourth, but that was really one of the best parts of the show, I thought.
Yeah, there were battles all over the track, and I was really surprised. This is not a car that we race regularly at all. We've been doing a few exhibition races here and there in the Gen 4 car, which is very similar, but has a lot more power. And we've certainly not gone to a track like this in a long time. So I was impressed with that. Obviously disappointed with the number of cautions, but all in all, it was still a really good race. We had some decent runs and several different strategies throughout the field, and I think overall we got a really good race.
Well, that's going to do it from us here at Concord Speedway. From Noah Mary and Adam Kuhn, and all the fantastic people that helped put this together. I'm Joshua Copperell saying so long, and we'll see you next time.